Now, yet another listing on the NSE this week was that of the Initiates PLC, a waste management company coming to the market. The company has been around for over 20 years but decided to come to the market at a time when capital became scarce for management. I had this interview with the chief executive of that company, Mr. Reuben Osai. He shares the secret behind the listing with me, but don't mind me making that secret public now.
Really, there are three things that we can get from this listing. Number one is visibility, and we're also working towards getting this listing to afford us the opportunity of adjusting our holding structure and also improve our corporate governance structure, and in all, make us more credible, and people can now deal with us more. That's what we're looking at for now.
But why did it take so long for you to come to the market? We know you've been around for over 20 years.
Yeah, it took this long because it was internally financed, and we're also trying to build momentum in the industry. And by the way, we should also understand that our industry is quite peculiar. It's an industry where the services we render don't command any commercial value. So what we've been doing since was like setting a platform that will enable Nigerians to understand that waste management services is a services that is very basic and necessary for the community and necessary for the growth of the country, because for Nigeria to grow, you definitely have to produce waste. And if waste must be produced, and knowing that waste is hazardous, whichever form of it is hazardous, it now calls for people with expert knowledge to be able to take care of this material to avoid causing problems within the environment. And besides that, if they are not well taken care of also, it also leads to short of material, a deficit of raw materials for the future generations. So we have been we have been on ground, but not here in the market, because we are trying to mobilize the forces that are controlling waste management. One of them is the law of this country, implementation of law enforcement, which gives value to it. So you can imagine somebody who is grappling with the problem of doing business that have no commercial value. Today we can talk of waste management, and I'm sure that people who are watching us will know that we are one of the pioneer companies in waste management in Nigeria. We started as a consultancy company, and we moved up to this point because we see that the momentum has also gathered up for waste management services, especially now at this recession time when government have limited resources to face the business of governance. You know what is being done today is waste management is just taken as any service that government is supposed to provide for the public. And because of that recession, I'm sure many state government in the next 2 years will not be able to provide these services free for anybody. And when they cannot provide these services, it calls on us to stand by government to be able to deliver these services to the public.
Now let's move over to the NASD OTC as well as the FMDQ OTC markets. The unlisted security index, that's the USI, and market capitalization of the NASD OTC had negative movements to close the week at 614.34 points against 627.34 points in the preceding week. Market capitalization ended by the same margin at 408.23 billion against 416.87 billion. Volume traded was 607.686 units, 86% less than the previous record that we had in the market. Let's quickly switch to the FMDQ OTC, where activities in the Treasury bills markets were largely bearish as average T-bills rate trended upwards most of the trading days during the week on the back of the central bank's aggressive activities in the primary markets. Average T-bills rates rose 20 basis points on Monday, and of course it ended the week at 17.6%. You take a look at what we have again on the screen. That's the FMDQ OTC record, where we see bonds also having crunching with those numbers that we have. But there's still to come in the second segment of the program, so stick around.